Hello, friends from the comic and manga world. My name is Hector, and I'm here to talk to you about my picks for the upcoming June 29th FOC. I'm here by myself because G out on vacation, but she'll be back next week. If you don't know, we work for Penguin Random House and we manage sales around the world for the direct market. So, titles that we talk about in these videos are from the publishers that we represent to those markets. Also, note that we're on social media. You can find us on Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under at PRH International Comics. I'll leave links in the description below. So, without further ado, let's get started with my picks for this week. And we start with Avatar, The Last Airbender, My Cabbages, I should say. This is by illustrated by Bonnie Pang from the stories from the animated show Avatar Last Airbender from Michael Dante and DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. Um, if you are a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender, you know who this guy is. He is the cabbage merchant or the cabbage guy, and he always bumps into the kids from the Avatar group, and they just always mess up his cabbages for some reason. And he even makes it into his story. His descendant, I guess, makes it into the Korra series years after. Um, and it's one of the funniest gags running in this show. It becomes so famous that people cosplay as this guy in cons and stuff. So um, this book. It's not a graphic novel. It's a picture book, but it's part of a series called Pop Classics that Quirk Books publishes, and it includes other titles based on pop culture classics like Back to the Future, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Home Alone 1 and 2, Doctor Who, the movie Elf, School Rock, and Rugrats, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which was also illustrated uh, by Bonnie Pang, who, by the way, is from Hong Kong. Um, the I have some images. I should probably show you the interiors, and it's just the story of the poor guy who keeps bumping into the Avatar crew, and his cabbages keep ending up on the floor for some reason, getting destroyed. Um, Very, very cool. I think is very good, not just for kids, but also for collectors and people who love all these series, including the Avatar, The Last Airbender. And let's continue with some cover picks. And the first one is Aliens versus Avengers #1 by Zoo Orso variant. This book, which is an amazing crossover with Aliens and Avengers, is written by Jonathan Hickman and is illustrated by Esat Ribic, who, if you don't know, is from Croatia and is an amazing artist. And this cover, which I absolutely love, is by Zhu Orzu, who's also an amazing artist. She is from Singapore, and all her illustrations are like this, with sort of looks like a oil painting, um, and very beautiful. And I love how, even as though it's so beautiful, we get this, this alien uh, confronted by Carol Danvers, by Captain Marvel, and it looks so cool. So that's one of my picks. Let's continue with Spider Gwen, the God Spider, Ghost Spider #4. This is the Yi Young Lee variant. Yi Young Lee, obviously, very famous and big illustrator from South Korea, and he has done amazing covers for Marvel and other publishers. They're always extremely beautiful, like this. I love how Gwen is here, just fighting against the symbiote, and it's very cool. Sort of like we see a lot of these uh, art of symbiotes taking over, people, superheroes, and sometimes villains. And this one, it matches Gwen so well because it's almost look like they're doing ballet more than anything. and it's so graceful, even though she's fighting off a symbiote. Um, so I love this one. And there's not just that cover, but also there's a variant 1 in 150 variant cover, as you can see here. Um, and then we continue with Star Trek number 500. This is the retail incentive 1 in 10. This is illustrated, the cover by Chris Fenoglio, sorry. And of course, as a celebration for the Star Trek number 500 issue, we get this amazing book with lots of creators included inside with several stories. And Chris Fenoglio, I'm a fan of his art, and Fenoglio, sorry, I keep messing it up. And this Italian artist who does very cool, very funny, and very amazing art. Uh, I remember very well an amazing cover that he did that was also a wraparound like this one, obviously, because of the Ship to Heart, you can tell it's a wraparound. But last year he did one for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the Dog of War #1, where he shows the crew from uh, from lower decks, sorry, as they're dressed up like a baseball team in the dugout. Very cool. And then this one here, as you can see, it shows you uh, Cube sort of just hanging out, reading and laughing at the adventures, laughing, probably making fun of all the adventures that he's reading on the Star Trek comics. And you get a lot of the covers from recent issues of Star Trek. And you also get you can see he has a full case uh, of figures with the different eras and different crews of the Star Trek. So that's also very cool. And then you see, and I didn't notice this before, that uh, Fenoglio decided to put his name on a comic book box right next to Q, which is very cool. So he collects Fenoglio's art. Very cool. And that's it for that one. Let's continue with the next. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2024 run #2. This is a retail incentive variant 1 in 100 by the amazing Dyke Ruan. In this book, obviously, Jason Aaron writing, illustrated by Rafael Albuquerque, obviously Rafael Albuquerque from Brazil. And Dick Rion, if you don't know, he was born in China, but currently lives in Italy. I'm sure you've seen his art all over the place. He does amazing art. And here we get such a cool image of the turtles jumping onto a scooter with explosions in the background. And the scooter is full of stickers, and it has like a TMNT sticker, a pizza slide, a cowabunga sticker, and their poses are so amazing with weapons in hand, except obviously for Mikey, who's just hanging on for dear life. And I know this image is very familiar to me. I know that it's probably an homage to something, but I can't remember what it is. Maybe you guys know. I also invite you to visit the Instagram of the Dyke Ruan Instagram. He posted about this cover, and he posted, how he did it in watercolor, acrylic, and he does sort of shows the process of him doing the art on there with different slides. So it's very cool, very interesting. So yeah, there it is. One of my favorites, definitely, for this week. Next up is Nemesis Rogues Gallery #2, cover A. This is the Valerio Giordano cover. Valerio Giordano is also the illustrator for this book, written by Mark Millar. And it's amazing art, as you can see by this cover. He's such an amazing artist, Italian artist. Here you have, Nemesis sort of like bodies all around, sort of in a war zone, and with his big sword trying to like reaching out with his hand to help out this what looks like an escaped prisoner or escapee because you have the handcuffs. But the art itself is so gritty but beautiful at the same time. I love it. Sort of it gives this yellow orange texture in the background that you can tell it's fire, but it's so well blended that it's almost in it's like a cross between fire and a sundown. Very beautiful, very cool. And that's it for my picks. But then we always finish with a little bit of news. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention there's a black and white cover B for Nemesis Rogues Gallery number 2, Valerio Giangiordano, which also looks extremely amazing. And it's great to see all the detail on this drawing. Now we go to the news. So, Comixology Originals has just announced The Girl Who Draws on Whales, which will be available later this year in digital, but next year will be available in physical format from Dark Horse. This is the first young adult original graphic novel written and drawn by Ariela Kristantina. I talked about Ariela Kristantina before on this channel because I'm a big fan. She illustrated Adora and The Distance, which I put right there, the cover for that book, which is also available from Dark Horse, which is an amazing graphic novel. If you haven't read it, you need to go pick it up right now. And this one, like it says, it's the first time that Ariela has also written a book. And she's an Eisner nominated, award nominated artist. She's from Indonesia. And this story, I'm just going to tell you really quick about it. It's about this village in an island, probably obviously in South Pacific. And there's this girl uh, who sees whales coming to her island all the time, and she draws on them, and you can see her on the cover, sort of some of the drawings that this girl does, and they the whales leave, and when they come back sometimes they come with different drawings. So she has this idea that there are all these other villages out there in other islands that are trying to communicate with them, and they do it through the drawings and on the whales. Now one day a whale arrives in the village and it's by itself, wounded and dying, and there are new drawings on the whale, but they're very different from the previous drawings that she has seen. And she's inspired by the mystery. This girl, her name is Wanji, by the way, and vows to investigate. And although this is forbidden by her parents and by the village elders, Wanji, along with her brother Banyu, embark on a journey to investigate where the drawings are coming from and what's going on, if there's more people out there. And of course, they find much more than what they're expecting. I expect a very beautifully drawn and very beautifully written story. Um, and for people like me who are come from Ireland and Puerto Rican, uh, it kind of touches very close to home, all these stories about, living on an island, sort of and sort of dreaming of what's out there outside of your island or where you live or the small space where you live. So very excited. Like I said, it's going to be available in digital soon from Comixology, but it will be available on print in spring on 2025. Can't wait for this. Like I said, I'm such a big fan of Ariela Kristantina. So, and that is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you guys missed G, but don't worry, she's coming back next week. Like I said before, we are on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter. We are on YouTube under at PRH International Comics, and you can follow the links that I'll leave on the description below. Okay, so thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.